Today, however, a very, very pleasant reading. 73 up in the Goodland area, 72 over by the Good Fortune.
Welcome to a new episode of Dumbfounded Podcasts. This is our actually first episode so far, so we're going to have some fun. My name's Javier, and I'm joined by
Nick.
Thankfully, he said it okay this time. And yeah, we're just going to be talking about some stuff, so where you want to hit this off, Nick?
Well, I guess the first thing I want to talk about is Eminem's new album.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, it makes me feel awkward.
No, like, I love, like, the album wasn't terrible. I'm not saying it's a bad album.
Yeah, it's just like...
It's different from his path. It's different from his usual path.
It's not the Eminem I knew.
The Eminem you knew? What's the Eminem you knew?
I mean, waking up in the middle of the street, just butt-ass naked, like, insulting someone, like, terribly, making fun of Britney Spears.
So him talking, like, sane and about actual issues, it's not your actual Eminem?
No, I don't want to, like, listen to Eminem and be like, wow, I'm making a rational thought. Like, I just want to be completely emotional and, like, in the moment.
Yeah. If it's, like, stand to, like, role models or anything like that.
Exactly. It was like, man, I just want to cut myself. Let's listen to Eminem. Now I'm just like, wow, I have to finish this book report. Let's see what he has to say.
See what he has to say. But he's better than, like, most rappers. We'll give him that.
Definitely fucking better than Lil Pump. I hate that guy.
Like, it's just Lil Pump. I think I generalize him the whole topic of, like, mumble rap, and I can't do it. Like, I jokingly say, like, Lil Pump's saving the rap game, but besides that, he's not. I don't think he's anything. I really can't.
No, I think... I mean, I like the sound of it. What makes me really mad is not because it's, like, I think it's trash. I just think there's, like, no effort, and then to realize how rich he is. I mean, like, Gucci Gang. I mean, like, that's, like, it's a super simple song that he made.
It's super simple. Anybody could have done that.
And, like, he's just super rich. And, like, the thing that really pisses me off is that, like, I'm, like, 19, and this kid's, like, what, 17?
He's 17? I thought he was older.
No, he's, like, 17. I think maybe 18 now. Hasn't even graduated from, like, high school. And, like, he has more money than I probably will ever have.
No, I think it's crazy. Because my thing is with rap and stuff like that, like, when you look at older stuff, yeah, they talk about the same kind of ideas, but they actually talked about it. If it's, like, from money to whatever, they'll actually finish their sentences. Now, it's like, ma bit lo do cocaine. And everyone's like, okay, yeah, I'll jam to it, but all the rational people are like, what the hell did this man just say? Like, for me, it's just, like, I can't get with it. Like, from actual rappers I like Eminem, Immortal Technique, Donald Glover, Childish Gambino. I mean, like, those rappers actually rapped about, like, issues and stuff like that they might have been going through or have a silly song. But, like, Lil Pump is just, my bad, love, dude, okay.
I mean, I still like the song. Like, I'll listen to, like, stuff that Lil Wayne makes or Amigos or Future. I mean, it's not like I don't like the style. It's just, like, some of it is just, like, too much. It's like, come on, really?
Yeah.
Like, how is this guy so famous? And, like, the really thing that pisses me off is, like, you have, like, so many people just praise so much to him, and it's ridiculous. Like, he's 17, and he's trash.
But that's the thing. We say he's trash, but deep down we're kind of jealous. We were like, he's doing something super simple and making millions off of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy.
I was on Instagram this morning, and I'm flipping through it, and I did see him just jamming out into his... the sound room the
recording room. Yeah.
And I mean, like, I'm just like, man, if I were just to be, I don't know the word I'm looking for, like, I guess dumber, and I could just say whatever I want and just came up with, like, a little catchy tune, I feel like I can just be another, like, potential rapper.
What would be your rap name?
Probably
like Lil Nick.
No, it would probably be like Nick Gucci.
Nick Gucci. But that sounds like an actual rap name. Like, nowadays, it really does.
Like, you got Gucci Mane, you got Lil Dicky.
Lil Dicky? I don't know much about, like, I've actually heard about Lil Dicky, but I don't know anything about him. So, like,
he's like comic rap. He's kind of like, it reminds me of how Eminem was in the beginning.
Oh, it's more like comical rapping. It's not like serious.
Like, Eminem was like a super controversial rapper, and where he like used a lot of comedic techniques to like point fault at stuff. And, like, Lil Dicky does the same thing, except he kind of does it into a generalization of himself and other categories he builds up. Like, he did one song, I thought it was, like, a really witty song, was Professional Rapper.
Professional Rapper?
Yeah.
Are you talking about Eminem, or?
No, this is Lil Dicky. And it's super catchy because the song follows a conversation that he has with like Snoop Dogg, and it's an entire rap that explains him and his position in rap, and it's all in a conversational like format, which I thought was awesome.
That's not bad. Like I guess I gotta check him out after this podcast because I've honestly never heard of him. Like his name I've heard, but like him, I've never like actually listened to his stuff.
Yeah, like I think he's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I also think about this a lot. Like, you know, when you have rappers who are just ridiculously rich, like for instance, like Jay-Z, Dre, and Kanye, and Sean Combs. Like these people are like, I think both Jay-Z, Dre, and Sean Combs, they're like almost $800 million.
Are you really like that much? I thought there were more.
No, like with Jay-Z and Beyonce, they're like over $1 billion in net worth.
Yeah.
But I mean, I always wish I wish my parents was that rich.
Yeah, right.
Like that's just retarded. Because like you know they're not gonna be working in life.
No, that's like Bill Gates' kids. Like I don't know much about Bill Gates' kids, but like how much do you think they actually do stuff on their own?
Probably. I mean, I imagine
because it's parenting style. If Bill, like, I really don't know much about the kids, so I can't say anything. But like, if Bill Gates has like an affirmative thing of like, I want the kids to be on their own, and he doesn't like coddle them, I can imagine them being just as successful as their father. But like, besides that, like, if you had somebody that stupid rich and they're just giving the kid everything, they're not gonna do anything. They're just gonna live off of mommy and daddy's money.
Well, the thing is, all right, so, like, his oldest daughter, I don't know her name, but she's, like, I think she has a network of, like, 20+ mil.
No way. Really?
Yeah.
Wait, doing what, though?
I think I have no idea what she does. I just know she travels a lot.
I would, too, if I had that money.
I just know I would be, like, a really spoiled child, and I would be, like, a humongous kiss-ass if my parents were, like, Bill Gates or, like, Elon Musk.
Yeah. But, like, those are two different people. Like Elon Musk, he doesn't have kids, right? Does he? I don't think
No. I mean, just like saying like if my parents was like that rich, I would totally be a shithead.
Yeah, well, I understand that because honestly, like,
I would like get a Lamborghini and crash in front of a whole bunch of like poor people, and then go out and buy another one. Like,
and buy another one in front of those poor people.
Like, you can have my old Lamborghini. I have no need for that.
I have no need for those like millions of dollars.
And then like when I go out to eat, I order like 10 different things, and I'll like take a bite from each one. And like, I don't want any more. Just throw it straight into the garbage.
Straight into the garbage in front of the poor people I just crashed a Lamborghini in front of.
Exactly. I think that's how I'd be.
I don't know. Like, I would love to say like, no, if I was rich, I'd be a noble man. I'd donate my causes or whatever. But I don't know that. I have no clue about how I actually be.
True. Like, actually, it pisses me off to think about how rich they are. I mean, like, all right, for Bill Gates...
It pisses you off to see how rich they are? It does,
because, like, Bill Gates, he's, like, what, now? Yeah, he's $90.5 billion.
Is it that much, really?
Yeah, that's how much his net worth is. And Neil deGrasse Tyson, he actually did the calculation to see how much money he has in comparison to, like, an average, middle class civilian in the United States is. And he says, and he was talking to his perspective of Neil deGrasse Tyson. He was like, yeah, I have a home, I have like good amount of money, I have a nice car, and if I saw a quarter on the side of the walkway, I would totally bend over and get that. I would totally grab it. And he compared the ratio between how much he makes and the lifestyle that he lives, and then the value of a quarter, and then ratio it to Bill Gates. Bill Gates, if in that same ratio, Bill Gates wouldn't even bend over for anything less than $45,000.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
What is that, like 20 grand on the floor? Nah.
I'll
just flip it over for good luck for somebody else.
To me, spits on it.
Spits on it, throws it away in front of the poor people who crashed the Lamborghini in front of.
He goes like, oh man, who's littering? And throws in the garbage. And then like some hobo was like, I haven't eaten in 2 months.
Jesus. Like, I don't know. I have no clue like what I'd do if I was that rich. Like I would love to say like if I was that rich, like if I was that rich now with my mentality like I have growing up, like I think I would be more charitable to an extent. Like not completely like 90% of my stuff goes to charity. Not that, but like I want to be spending my money on dumb stuff. If it's like vacationing, it's like actually experiencing something, not like buying a bunch of things. Like I wouldn't have a massive house because I don't see the point in that.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I mean, it would be like, I feel, for me, like, especially that house thing, I'm, like, always constantly thinking about filling stuff that has space. I don't like vacancy when it comes to my materialistic things. Like, every time I'm in my room, and, like, my room's small, but, like, there's a spot where I can probably, like, use it in the space, it pisses me off because I don't use it.
So you, like, fill it up with, like, clothes?
Yeah,
you just, like, throw a pile
I like
of
to
clothes
have, like,
in
a purpose for each and area, and I don't know how, like, people who are, like Justin Bieber, like, you saw how big his house is?
I think I've seen pictures of it.
And it's, like, it's stupidly huge. I'm, like 90% of it, it's, like, probably filled up with garbage that he has, like, no purpose for. He goes, like, what's this room? He goes, like, honestly, I haven't been in it in 2 years.
I pooped in it 3 weeks ago, and the poop's still in there. I haven't been there.
Yeah, I haven't been in it, like, 2 years.
But no,
I think raccoons live in there. So
I have no clue. They built their own society and everything. Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, for me, like, when it comes to big houses, I just don't see that, like, if you have a lot of land, I think that's different. Having land to a big house, like, land, it's open. Like, you can do whatever you want. Like, you don't need to have stuff filling it up. But for me, like, I just think having a big house, it just, like, it gets, the sense of, like, emptiness gets there, like, too quick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, like, if you have, like, a one-story house or, like, a house that's, like, semi-alright, like, not so big but not so small, I think, like, you won't feel that, like, lonely inside of it, like, out of nowhere. You won't get that loneliness. If you have a massive house like Justin Bieber and I was living there by myself, I'd be like, I need to have parties every week. Cause, like,
yeah, I feel like that's how it is. Especially for, like, rich people. Like, Bill Gates, he could totally pull that off.
Oh, yeah. Bill Gates could pull the 45 grand thing. He could pull off anything. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, he could pull off any type of party. Like, Great Gatsby.
If I was that rich and I was, like, super cynical, I'd probably have, like, a party and just, like, I'll be, like, the super rich version of Floyd Mayweather.
Oh,
where he invites in all his prostitutes, like, hookers or whatever.
I can't stand Mayweather. I really can't. Like, I don't even want to go in that tangent, but, like, I know it could be all for publicity on how he acts and stuff like that.
Probably.
But that's just like McGregor, because I had a lot of respect for McGregor. It's not like I lost it. But, like, when he first started out, he was very humble. He was very, like, respectable about fights and stuff like that. And once he started winning like crazy, like, all of a sudden it was like, fuck the Mayweathers and blah, 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 blah. And, like, he was, like, freaking out about everything. Mostly publicity, but, like...
Well, yeah, because, like, now he's, like... I don't know his net worth now. It's, like...
It's skyrocketed now after that fight.
I know for a fact it's over 100 mil.
Oh, you kidding? Of course. That's like lowballing it. It has to be over that much.
It's stupid. But, I mean, talking about riches, you heard about Elon Musk, that
whole Falcon Heavy thing?
Yeah.
No, it's ridiculous. I think it's super cool. Wasn't it like 2 out of 3 rockets, like, came back or whatever?
Oh, I don't really know all the details. I just know about the car that he sent up there.
that was funny. Well, what did the caption say? It was like, don't panic or something?
Well, you know, the theme, or what he was trying to, like, represent with, like, putting his car with a spaceman in it.
I actually don't know.
It's from a movie called Full Metal.
Full Metal?
It was, like, Full Metal. Yeah, Full Metal. Or Hard Metal.
I haven't heard of it.
Or something like that. It's like this 1980 anime movie that was, like, kind of popular back in the day.
Wait, you say anime movie?
Yeah.
Is Elon Musk a weeb?
Probably.
Please tell me not. I don't know.
No, it's not like Japanese. Please. It's like all about rock and roll and metal.
Okay, so it's not that bad. Oh, I almost lost respect for him for a second.
No. No, but it's super weird, that movie, because, like, I found out by my professor, and I was in college, and he was like, you know what that's supposed to represent? And, like, no one's like, no. And he goes, like, he shows us a clip, and, like, first, the animation is terrible. It's just
well, it's from the 80s. What do you expect?
I know. And, like, as, like, they're driving the car, like, I just watched the intro to it, and I was like, this is really weird.
Mm.
Who watches this? And then, like, I realized America does, because we watch, like, Jersey Shore and, like...
Yeah.
Honey Boo Boo.
I don't know how that was, like... Are those shows are still around? Not those type?
Well, not Jersey Shore, but, you know, Teen Pregnancy, or Teen Mom, I mean, is still, like, super big.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I don't have cable. Like, I just watch Netflix and Hulu, like, all the time.
Because I see my stepmom watching it. I'm just like... And she always complains, like, because I like to watch Family Guy and American Dad.
Yeah, but they're like, sensible.
No, and she was like, oh, that's garbage. And I was like, what about Teen Mom? And you're like, they're bringing light about a serious issue.
Oh,
I was like,
God,
no, they're
not. They're shoving a camera in it.
They're like fucking idolizing, like, teen pregnancy. And it's like, oh my God, my life is so hard. I make like $45,000 every time I get a clip of myself.
Mm.
Like, it's so hard. You don't know what it's like to have a child.
While people are, like, actually, like, friggin' Elon trying to go to Mars and stuff like that. It's crazy to see what people deem as important. Like, if it's teen pregnancy shows or the Falcon Heavy, or is it, like, whatever. It's weird. It's weird.
Actually, to be honest, I think America has like a really messed up view of what's like important.
Oh yeah,
and
for
what
sure,
is
for
needed
sure.
to be done.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
like I really hate just because like for instance like for me, I'm registered as independent as an independent party. And,
are you really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm not a Democrat nor I'm.
That was the thing. I wanted to do independent at first when I was looking into it because I was like I was at the DMV and the person was like, "Do you want to register to vote?" I'm like, yeah, I'll be an American. Why not?" And like,
I'm not from Cuba.
No, but like I'll be like, yeah, I'll be an American for once. And she was like, "All right, what do you want, Republican or Democrat?" She didn't even give me independent at first. She just said Republican or Democrat. I'm like, "Is there another party?" She goes, "Yeah, you can do independent." But if I'm like, all right, well, what if I do independent? If you do independent, you can't vote in the primary. She told me that. I was like, then what's the point of picking independent? I was like, I'll just pick Democrat. Why not? Because I have more Democratic views. But it was just weird. It's just weird doing all that.
I don't know really how the voting process all works. I just know.
I check a name on there and I did my civil duties.
Well, no, when I voted for this last election,
you voted?
Yeah,
okay,
I was 18, and when I voted, I hardly knew anyone's name, and so like I wanted to be like a very well-round, like I don't want it to like be too much Republican, so too much Democrat. So as I'm looking at the names, and it shows you if they're part of the Republican or the Liberal or like whatever party they were at, and I was like, so you get a Republican and you get a Democrat,
just spread
and
it
every
out.
once in a while there's a Libertarian.
Did you do like Christmas tree? But you're like
kind of, but like I made sure it was like even because I didn't know anybody. I just knew.
I felt bad for all the parties, so I voted for all of them.
So the only ones who I knew was Trump and Hillary, and then I knew one guy that was running for sheriff in my district, and that was it.
And that was it. So you just like.
Or maybe else. I think the vice presidents too, but
you have to vote. You don't just vote the president. That's
I mean, but I'm saying the people who I knew.
Oh yeah, for the people.
Everyone else was like random. It was like, oh, the chief of the staff, and it was like,
why not him?
I haven't voted for a girl yet.
That's so terrible. That is absolutely terrible. Oh,
I made sure that it's Democratic and Republican and girls and boys and. Don't care about your real views or anything. Just make sure it's even.
Honestly, like I don't want to keep on going back to Musk or anything like that. It's just like, do you think he actually votes? Like, because he's from here, right? Is he?
I have no idea.
But do you think like he would vote though?
Voted for the last?
Like, do you think he would actually vote?
Probably not.
Probably not.
I don't think.
I feel like I think he's like I got more important stuff like colonizing Mars. Like I think like he's like I want to do that. I don't care about like checking a paper.
You want to hear something really weird about colonizing Mars?
What was it?
If, like, we put people on Mars, and you really think about it, you'll have, like, a whole nother group. Because, like, it's no longer going to be, like, Americans or, like...
No. They'll be Martians.
They're like, yeah, but, like, they're going to have a whole nother, like, identity, like, drift thought where they're going to be, like...
They have different issues. Like, they don't have,
like... It's like, I need water. They're like California people, except more desperate.
They have a whole planet.
Yeah, with no water. Except the top that's frozen.
Yeah, but like, do you think we should actually colonize Mars? Like, I want your opinion. Do you think we actually should?
I mean, I don't know. Like, I think, like, eventually, we should leave the solar system and leave the universe and like go into a higher dimension, like Interstellar.
Like, okay, you're going all the way to Interstellar level when they went into, like, the fourth dimension and all that kind of stuff?
Fifth,
excuse me.
Yeah.
I only watched it 2 times. But, no, like, instead of going, like, into all that kind of stuff, we're in a generation that eats Tide Pods and, like, gets mad at Starbucks for their cups. I think those are, like, 100 years past our dimensions. But, like, I don't know. Like, colonizing Mars, I think it's a great idea. But I can imagine that later down the line. Like, not anytime soon.
I think it's very possible.
No, I not technology-wise. I mean, like, mentality-wise. I think later on.
It's very possible. I think just something happened. Something really had to happen between, like, the 1970s to, like, now. Because if you really look at it, like, technology and the way how mankind was shifting in society, especially on the western side. I mean, we were from, like, when the White brothers was, like, building the airplanes.
Yeah.
Back in, I don't know, it was, like, I think late 1800s.
It was late or early 1900s.
It was like late 1800s, early 1900s when they were like building the airplane.
I'm like, man, let's go into space.
And then like within that time frame of late 1800s to early 1900s, and then like the 1950s and the 1960s, either one, we built it like the Blackbird. It was going like over 1,000 miles per hour, 2,000 miles per hour.
Which is crazy over like X amount of time. Like, it's not a crazy amount of time.
It's not like from, like, you go from, like, nomads who finally revolutionized the spear into, like, a sword after, like, a 3,000 years time spirit. It's like, yeah, it was, like, in the, like, last 50 years, we decided to, like, go across the planet, like, multiple times and shooting, like, these humongous long-range missiles and then blowing up an entire island with one single
No, it's crazy.
button.
No, it's absolutely great. But, like, I think, like, if we go into Mars, or, like, go to Mars and be like, all right, we're going to build a vacation home here, I feel like people would just bring the same baggage they have here on Earth. Like, not literal baggage, but, like, instead of, like, society issues or, like, stuff like that. Nobody's going to drop that in one trip going to Mars. Like, I feel like they're just going to bring the same issues they have there to Mars. And, like, if they do, they're going to treat Mars just as crap as they treat Earth.
Well, I think it would be really cool if they did this. Like, made Mars into, like, this industrial plant where, like a certain amount of the surface area of Mars is, like, just all farms.
That'd be pretty cool.
And
like,
then,
if they're able to make it, like,
and you're able to, like,
yeah,
and then you can just keep going back and forth.
So we trash this planet while that planet's okay.
Yeah, so it's oh, world hunger. And it goes, like, there's a whole nother world with food. You can't get there, Timmy.
You can't get there,
You're
Timmy.
poor.
Yeah.
I'm Bill Gates. You're not.
I'm Bill Gates. Here's my crash Lamborghini again.
I'm Bill Gates' kids. No.
No, I feel like that would be, like, a really cool, like, sci-fi movie. What do you think? Like, or, like, even the idea of, like, instead of, like, Amazon Prime, it's, like, Mars Prime, and you're like, oh, what was that? We need, like, 100,000 pounds of food, 2-day shipping for free, and it comes straight from Mars.
It's like, it was, like, in a rocket.
Yeah, in a
and,
rocket.
like, it lands in your, like, yard and blows up half of it, but it's okay because you got food.
Oh, you have food, not a house, but
yeah,
you have food.
It was like, what happened to our
house? Then the next time you order, you're going to order a house, and the house is going to blow up the food, and then just, like, constant. And that'll be the economy then. That's how it'll work.
That's how it works. That's
That's just, like, the whole drones thing. Like, I don't trust drones. The whole drones, like, delivery, I just don't trust them.
I feel like they're okay.
Why?
I mean,
what party thinks it's okay?
I mean, it's all, it's a unmanned control aircraft, right?
Yeah.
It's just all worked by GPS and all that.
I just think it's creepy. I think it's absolutely creepy. Like, just imagine you're, like, walking your dog and you see a drone out of nowhere. Like, I get antsy when I see a bird in a tree because you don't trust birds. And birds have, like...
I had a bird. I hate them.
Yeah, but I can't trust birds. I can't... Like, I'm not scared of birds. Let the podcast show I'm not scared of birds. But...
He's not scared, guys.
I'm not scared. I don't know how many times I have to repeat that. But, like, birds, I just don't trust them. Like, they have an ability, I don't. How could I trust them? Like, they could just be like,
flight?
Yeah, flight. Yeah, flight.
So, like, they can, like, scratch you in the face and, like, they're gone. You're like, I can never get them back.
I can never get them back. Exactly.
If I had an airplane. I mean, we kill them constantly.
Wait, what do you mean an airplane? I'm going to get in an airplane and then chase that bird down?
I mean, like, if you get an airplane, you can fly, but...
No, but, like, there's no possible... Like, birds, they poop on you and then leave. And they find it funny. Like, they absolutely find it funny.
I think birds are cool. Like, I always want an owl when I get older.
An owl? What are you, like, a Harry Potter, like, diehard fan?
No. But
no.
I think it would be cool. Like, an owl or, like, someone else with, like, really big bird that I can, like, have them on my, like, shoulder when I go out.
Mm.
And, like, have, like, a really badass scene where, like, I get pissed off at someone, like, in, like, the restaurant. And, like, someone's, like, making a scene.
And you like, say something in German and then the bird, like, flies across.
Bird flies and then, like, rows.
Yeah, like, caw.
And it's, like, man-sized and it picks someone and it takes them out. And, like...
Oh, wait, if it's man-sized, how's it on your shoulder, Dick?
Well, I said it grows.
Wait, it grows mid-flight?
Yeah, it's growing, like...
What type of bird are you talking about? A radioactive owl?
Yeah, this is very possible.
Very, very possible.
You get your owl and, like, you get some radioactive, solutions. You just dump it in, like, Achilles' heel.
Yeah, nobody could see this in the podcast, but he's actually hand gesturing all the things he's doing.
I am dumping this owl into a radioactive waste
pot stew,
like this
crock
witch
pot
made.
thing.
And whenever he feels like flying, he just grows. And if he keeps flying, he grows into, like, such a large state where he's like the Hulk, and no one can stop him.
That's an absolute...
That's why I have to snip his wings.
Yeah. Then why do you have him in the first place?
For looks.
For looks?
Yeah.
You're just as naive as the Lamborghini story we were talking about earlier. Just as naive.
Well, that's how you know what I'd be getting if I was that rich.
Yeah, you were like, oh, I wondered. No. You know how you are. You know what you will do.
Oh, yeah, I know. Like, other half, I mean, like, this is not, like, if I had $1 billion, I would spend $500 million of it on, like, research. I wouldn't give it to charities, because charities is a humongous scam.
Okay, no, some charities.
I would say like 98% is like scams.
Yeah, but you have to find charity. Like, that's all research. A lot of people think like, oh, I'm giving $10 to the dogs in the dog orphanage. I mean, Pound. I forgot the name for Pound.
But but look at it, because like honestly, I have an uncle that works for CDC, and he works on a part that, he works in virus controls. Like what he does is he works on the viruses that are being transmitted between mosquitoes, that are airborne viruses that goes to humans, and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
He did his research team did something really big over there, and he's over in Colorado, and so they ended up tripling their funding. Ever since then, they've been making actually less progress, and so it's like I don't know. I don't think money is really like all that great. I mean, like yeah, I would donate money to researchers, as in like if they need equipment, if they needed pay so they can go into these other places, doing like I lost the word I'm looking for. Exploration.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't I feel like a lot of charities just jump a whole bunch of money, and then the person who's organizing goes like, I don't think you really need it. I think I need it. I mean, look, the whole entire Harvey and the Irma situation that came through the Southeast, billions of dollars that was donated to the Red Cross and all that, for people, to be compensated for the loss.
Yeah.
I know a whole bunch of people that need money because of the hurricane, and they never got it.
No, because it was all in the relief fund, and that's it.
Well, yeah, but they were still in the relief, because, I know one person lost a house.
Mm.
They had a trailer, and they owned the trailer, and so they lost the house, and so she was going through the whatever hurricane emergency...
services and stuff like that.
Yeah, whatever they are. She went through them or whatever, trying to make file some type of claim so she can get compensated, and they're like, oh, you don't meet our very strict and absurd requirements to qualify.
I didn't know it was that rough. I didn't know it was like that.
It's kind of if you're not drowning, literally drowning in the water from Harvey, you're not getting anything.
Wow, I didn't know.
If you don't have your dog in someone's other person's tree, and you have pictures of it, and then you're not gonna get it.
Wow, is that the requirement? You have to post on Instagram and be like #Harvey, and everyone's like, oh crap.
He goes this is part of my house, and this is one brick. And goes you pull up the camera, and it's there's a parking lot.
It's just a parking lot, with the parking lot stuff on it, the lanes and stuff of that.
Exactly, just nothing.
Dude, we should make a whole business off of that. Just doing that would make millions. You know how many houses we would have?
Not a lot.
Oh, we'll have a lot of houses. You know how many parking lots are out there? We'll have so many houses, and we could flip those houses.
Cars would come in and out.
No, they won't. We'll have a house there.
So they would just be parked on the road.
Yes, it'll be parked on the road.
And then the roads would have to make another roads.
Yes, exactly.
And it just keeps following the trend.
Yes, exactly. We will own all of Florida.
This sounds like absurdity.
No, Nick. You were talking about getting a bird, dipping it in radioactive material for it to fly, and when it flies, it'll grow. This is a more thought out plan than the one you made.
No, because it sounds very close to about Superman. I mean, he gets hit with a yellow light, and then he magically starts flying. There's no propulsion system whatsoever. He starts flying. And then they say, oh, it's a yellow light. It's giving him energy.
Yeah, I don't understand where you're getting with this. That does make sense.
Well, people are okay with that, and I'm pretty sure they can be okay with what I was saying. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think so.
I mean...
I absolutely don't think so.
I mean, to really think about it, Superman, I just hate him so much.
I don't understand his character. I think he's, kind of overpowered.
Not even that. I just think his entire, setup is just dumb.
Yeah, right?
Okay, so, I hate when I go... Because I go on YouTube, and I like to watch people who kind of do analysis.
On, superheroes and stuff?
Superheroes.
Yeah.
Or,
I'm not even a big DC
characters.
fan, but I already know I don't like him.
And, people always trying to explain Superman. And I just get annoyed because, it breaks all principle of, logic and physics.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, he gets his power from the yellow sun. The yellow rays emits into him.
It's because of the color. The color of the rays, yeah.
And then I'm like, first of all, that doesn't even make sense. How does red light... there's no distinction... it doesn't make any sense. It's, all energy.
Yeah.
You can't have bad energy that makes you weaker. That part doesn't even make any sense.
It makes total sense. What are you talking about? obviously you haven't read these
DC
comics.
is terrible. And
That's why I'm a Marvel fan, because
really
at least it makes a little bit more sense, to an extent.
What really pisses me off is the ability that he can fly, and then people are like, yeah, it's because of the energy. I'm like, well, what's causing him to fly? What, is he like flipping his toes like super fast, which causes some
that's
type
exactly what he's doing.
No, he's not.
You just can't see it, Nick.
He can fly over someone, and like he's just levitating.
Because the wind goes around him. The person on the ground, it just goes around. Nick, do you not read comics?
I guess not.
I guess not.
And then Flash. I mean, I love Flash, but I just hate how they portray Flash.
I think they portray him in movies bad.
They portray him in everything bad.
No,
kind of. I mean, he's supposed to be like the most overpowered. What really pisses me off is that he can only run fast
when it's
on
like
a
necessary.
surface. No, on a surface. Like when we're watching. I watched the last DC movie.
Yeah, we watched it together.
Yeah. And like, you know how he's running around and the in that like room, whatever, and it's like shaped as a cylinder, and he can only run around it. But if you try to jump off, he like immediately is like a little bit slower.
Yeah. Well, they slowed down the camera. You don't know he's actually.
But he can't really like. The part I don't understand is like, why is he running around the cylinder?
He's so fast he could go through objects
instead of just being like the point where he's at and just jump really fast.
Well, he was just trying to speed up. He was trying to like kick in his new shoes. That's it.
That's just stupid.
His speedy shoes, the new Nikes.
What really pisses me off is like the mobility and the ability of how he can use his powers is stupid. And then like if you really think about if he's traveling at the speed of light and then like he touched something and the guy only goes flying like 20 feet, that makes no sense.
He
the guy
should have evaporated.
He should have been like the side of Earth should have been gone. That's what's supposed to really happen in physics. If you went that fast, and instead it's just like going super fast and then like hits the guy and the guy's like, my shoulder, you dick.
Yeah, right.
And then it was like, I'm Flash.
I'm Flash. No, my thing was like that new like everything about that Justice League movie I couldn't stand. But like with Flash, what I didn't get was like he was only convenient at some times. Like he could have done so much more with his speed. But like he was like, oh, I'm hungry, I can't do anything, and then like he was just like poop out. I know there's gonna be people that hear this and they're like, oh well, Flash does this, Flash does that. I get it. I'm just like rambling and talking trash about DC because I don't like it. But
DC.
I just can't like. I think the comics are cool, and then the villains are really interesting because they're more. I
feel like the villains make more sense than the actual heroes.
I was having this conversation yesterday with somebody, and literally the person freaked out. And they're like, I don't know how many times I need to be reminded that Batman's parents died. I don't like every single movie they like bring it up in some way, shape or form. They'll be like, oh, look at the weather. Oh, my parents died. Like it's so unnecessary. I think it's
really stupid. Is that when they bring that up, and he goes like, "Oh, that's the reason why he's a crime fighter, because his parents were murdered right in front of him by this thug." And I was like, that happens all the time. You don't see some like random vigilante just going out and like killing people.
Orphanages would be like #1 crime fighting hotspots in that case.
Exactly. It was like, what happened to this orphan? Saw his parents died. This guy, they're gonna be a Navy SEAL.
He's gonna be a Navy SEAL. Orphanages are just Navy SEAL training corps.
Exactly. That's all it is. If the military really want to take, actual leadership, they might want to start watching DC and see how they get around.
Obviously, that's how it works. So let me ask you a serious question, Nick. Do you think turkeys fly?
Do I think turkeys fly?
Yeah. This is like a legit question. Do you think turkeys fly?
I think they do.
Okay. Supposedly they do, and I never knew this, right? I found this out last semester where I look like an idiot in front of my whole class because I said turkeys don't fly. So what happened was basically like we're doing like, it was in my English class.
The professor was like...
No, it wasn't a professor. No. The professor was like understanding of this fact because she didn't even know about it. Because what happened was we're doing like logic things, right? Like it would say like sentence A, sentence B, and then sentence C. And then you have to be like, all right, this statement is valid, invalid, or not sound, right?
Yeah.
And it was like, all birds fly. Turkeys are birds. So, turkeys can fly. And I looked at it and I go, that's not true. Because turkeys don't fly.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. That was a sentence. I go, well, turkeys don't fly. So, yeah, right? And somebody was like, are you stupid? I'm like, no, I'm a sensible person. Turkeys don't fly.
Did they actually call you stupid?
No, dead serious. Somebody in my class looked at me like, are you stupid? Like,
is he a redneck?
No, it wasn't a redneck. It was just some random guy, right? Or a guy, girl, I don't even remember, right? I was just so aggravated because of this. I just heard noise, right? And I looked, I'm like, no, I'm not stupid. Turkeys don't fly. And they go, are you kidding me? how do you think they sleep in trees? I go, they sleep in trees? What are you talking about? Are you an idiot, right? And the professor's like, actually, they do sleep in trees. They do fly. And I'm like, what are you talking about? They don't fly. Someone was like, yeah, they do. I'm like, so if you're telling me if I walk out of this classroom right now and look into the sky, I'm just going to see a turkey going like through the sky, just soaring high above all of us. And they're like, no, they don't really fly like that. They glide. I'm like, look, first of all, I didn't think I need to know this much information about, like, going into college about turkeys. I didn't know I needed to take, like, Turkey 101 or Aviation of Turkeys 101. I didn't know that, but absolutely, somebody was like, yeah, they do fly. And they don't even fly. They, like, glide, like, 3 inches off the ground. It's considered flight. Like, we could do that if we wanted to. Can we sleep in trees? No, we cannot. But we could do that.
I mean, we can. We have tree houses.
Touche. I was absolutely wrong. We're better than turkeys.
Exactly. Fuck turkeys.
Yeah, that's why we eat them every year.
Exactly.
I think, wait, do we eat turkeys because, like, we're mad that they could do something we can't?
Maybe. It was just like, man, this guy can glide, and he's so fat. And then, like, the white Americans are like...
We're going to eat them every year. And then they pardon the one. But, like, besides that, we killed, like, 1 million of them.
Have you ever seen those Thanksgiving, episodes of, like, Bob's Burgers or, like, Family Guy? And they always have this scene where they have, like, this humongous epiphany about their, like, standpoint on the turkey and them. And it was like, oh, it's so cruel. Why are we hunting and killing these turkeys just for this one video? And I'm like, why don't you just do that for, like, cows or, like, anything else that you've been eating?
Yeah, like, I think that's the part that gets me about it, is that, like, just like veganism, right? I'll get into the topic of veganism in a second, but when it comes to veganism, they're like, oh, we feel bad because, like, we, like, don't eat, like, whatever animals. Some people say it because of dietary reasons. Other people say it because, like, they don't want to eat.
Sense.
Or morale sense, right?
Yeah.
But I was like, 2 things. A, first of all, what point did you realize this? Because, like, I bet when you were a little kid, if your mom fed you, like,
hot dogs
or whatever, you ate that down. And then the other sense of, like, animals in the wild, like carnivores and stuff like that, eat other animals. And it's not a morale sense. They're just hungry.
Actually, that reminds me. All right, so I was watching this episode of Josh Morel, and, like, he was reviewing this humongous PETA protest. And he goes up to this one old lady, and he goes like, oh, are you a vegan? She goes, yes, I have never eaten meat. Or not for a while, I guess. And then he goes like, oh, if you could be any animal, what would you be? And she was like, I would be a wolf. And he goes, but that means you would have the meat, right? And she goes,
yeah, I saw that. I saw it.
And
so
she
funny.
goes like, no, you don't have to eat meat if you're a wolf.
Yes, you do.
And she was having an argument. I was like,
yeah.
God, I hate people.
Yeah,
I really do hate, like, people who are like, all right, so I had this one chick. She was in my comp 1. And holy shit, even the professor hated her. She was stupid as shit.
Wait, are you saying she's stupid because she had different beliefs, or she was just
like,
stupid?
she doesn't have any logical sense at all.
Oh, okay.
Like,
all right.
Okay, she was like, this is how she would bring up every single conversation. My friend, my mom, my sister's boyfriend, cousin. Like, she would always bring someone that she partially knew into the argument.
Yeah.
And she was like...
But it's like a personal reference.
Yeah.
It's not like...
And then, like, it was like some type of authoritative, like, position. And then she would go on, and, like, when she was making this vegan claim, she was like, it's so bad because it's really bad for your health and it can cause cancer. And then not only can you get cancer, but you're also eating an animal who feels. Alright? If you eat animals, I hate you. And I was like, okay, you're a little bit aggressive. You're kind of doing the opposite of what you're supposed to. And then she gets, like, super offended, and she starts saying more. And then, like, my professor, he's trying to, like, connect the dots to her. And, like, it was just going over her head.
Yeah.
Like, completely. And then I made a comment at this. I was like, okay. So I go up to her, and I was like, okay, so you think it's bad on a morale sense because they have feelings and, you know, all this blah, blah, blah. And she goes, yeah. And I was like, what about plants? And she was like, what do you mean plants? And I was like, well, plants are living. She goes, yeah, but they're not sentient, and nor are they able to have feelings. And I was like, well, some researchers do. Some researchers do say that.
Yeah.
And then she goes
Which
like,
is BS,
well,
but...
Well, I mean, it's kind of reliable.
It's BS. No, it's not. They got a polygraph on a freaking plant, and polygraphs are the most unreliable thing.
When they start hitting the leaf?
It was all Mythbusters. It was the dumbest. Okay, so with that test, if people don't know about it in here, in this podcast, so what happened was that Mythbusters, a great show, they tested if plants have feelings, right? And they tied a polygraph, or like they attached a polygraph to a plant, right? Which is super unreliable because polygraphs only measure like sweating, heart rate, and breathing, right? It measures basic stuff. So if you're nervous,
it senses like very slight movement,
movements, and it's like, oh wait, you're lying.
Any mechanical wave that's going through your body.
Yeah, it's super unreliable. Like that's why it should be like not in any courtroom because it's very unreliable. Like if you're nervous, it could be saying you're lying.
Yeah, you can actually be like, there's like they actually have evidence of people in the courtroom where they were saying the complete truth and had evidence, and then they got
and they did a polygraph and they're like, oh, you're lying.
Yeah.
But anyways, back to this plant thing. So they hook it up to this plant, and then like they started smacking this plant. Like they started beating the hell out of this plant, and the plant obviously like because it's moving and it's reacting to it like to a very very minimal sense. The polygraph goes off a little bit, and they're like, oh my god, this might be a real thing. And then in the end, they're like, no, we know it's not a real thing because plants aren't like this. They're not sentient. But
yeah, I brought that up to her. She was like, she got super pissy, and then she was talking about cancer and how like it's really bad for your arteries. And she was like, oh yeah, and if you're a vegan, you have way better digestive systems and blah blah blah. And I was like, that's a little bit not true.
That's 50-50.
That's like,
I'm not a nutritionist, but
you can like, all right, like I hate when people like I see really fat people. And they're like, oh, I'm trying to eat healthy, and it doesn't work. And it's like they shove like 12 pounds of broccoli down their throat.
Obviously, because that's the right way to do it.
And I'm like, it's like...
It's portion control. It's portion control and knowing what you're eating, you could eat
It's not like a +1 thing. It's not like every time you eat a vegetable, you get a +1 in your health.
+1.
Like I feel like that's how some people rationalize
if they eat a bag of I don't know, like
chips.
Like chips. Or no, like broccoli, right? Like they eat a whole bag of broccoli. In that bag, they just got like 30 health points.
Yeah, that. Like they think like a video game aspect, and it's so annoying. And like apparently that's how she thought. And I was like, no, that's not true because you can just easily work out and then you have great arteries and then you live very happy. And guess what? You get to eat tasty things and you don't have to be, numb to everything, you asshole.
And you could actually enjoy life. Anyways. But yeah, like honestly, those topics are like, it's interesting to like see them, but like, it's like any other topic. Like you have to take it with a grain of salt. If you don't have actual facts to it, like it kind of hinders the whole thing.
Yeah, no. But actually, the interesting thing when you're talking about the polygraph, it reminded me of something I actually kind of when I thought about, but I heard it from someone. I can't remember. But it was like, I want to say it was like a really short story or like a really short memoir or something like that, where they were talking about how society views things, like vegans and like criminals. And this one was about how do you view a person that's really bad? And it made a scenario where it's like this guy, he's an amazing guy, he's like really rich, but he lives in a shack, and he has so much money. So like they're like, oh, why do you live in a shack? Oh no, because he donates all his money to like these charities. He cures cancer, he cures AIDS, and all that. And he's like a super valid and a great member to society. And but the one downfall to him is that, like, he does one criminal act, which is, like, super bad.
Like murder or something like that.
Or rape or something like that.
Yeah, something terrible,
So how would you see that person in society?
Yeah.
Would you throw him in prison? Even though he has so many great benefits that he provides for for his community and for society. Yeah. So it's like, so you think about, no matter how much you do for society or how much you do in life,
it's like one thing could set you back.
It's like, it's about how many times can you not do a bad thing. It's not like this like totem pole where it's like, oh, you're a little bit more on the good side than the evil. No, it's like, oh, you did evil? Okay, you.
Honestly, we're kind of running up on time. We're already at like 45 minutes, and like, well, let's not do a Joe Rogan experience and do like 2 hours. We're not on that level yet.
Yeah,
but
Joe
I think
Rogan.
Well, Joe Rogan is Joe Rogan. We don't need to bash Joe Rogan right now. but overall, I think that's a good topic for the next episode.
Yeah.
But any last thoughts before we end this kind of thing? Or
flat Earth conspirators, you're on the right track. Do not believe NASA. They all are in it for like illegal. for an evil, elaborate plan so they can possibly send us back in the Dark Age. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you're absolutely wrong, but we'll talk about that in the next episode too. Overall, this has been fun. We're going to be posting all this kind of stuff on SoundCloud, YouTube. But yeah, overall, I think we had a great episode. So time to wrap it up. My name's Javier.
And this is Nick.
And we'll see you next time on Dumbfounded Podcasts.
Do drugs.
And we're going to cut that part out.
And in the Ponca City Blackwell area, 68 degrees today.